there like a research or like a crafting kind of place on the ship?
So what you see on the ship right now is that you on the deck you see is the ship's pen on the deck or is it below decks?
Below decks, I think.
Okay, so you don't see the ship's. You see just you see two kids running around and a tall green lady who seems to be running after the kids, trying to stop them from doing something they're doing.
Well, is the rest of is Laura and Malvern and Tyrell on the ship now?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
There on the ship is a bunch of barrels standing around. It's like I said, a 3-master. There's a stairs going below decks, and there's like this higher bit with the steering wheel on there. You see Malvern apparently talking to the steering wheel.
Okay. Can I take a stealth roll to try to sneak below decks to see what I can see?
And the rest would be try to notice you, probably, unless they think they wouldn't be in a position to do so.
I'm probably already in the biggest cabin, making it my own by moving stuff around, making it my room. So I'm probably not noticing.
Tyrell would probably be on deck, so Tyrell might
Yes,
might
I'm
try
on
to
deck,
see.
standing.
So you might
standing
try to
together
notice.
with my Valrin at the steering wheel and listening to their conversation.
Okay. So do you think you'd be in a position to try and notice it?
I think I could notice it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll relieve it then. You can do it. Oh, definitely not. You see, like
But
this.
do you say anything?
This little gnome sneaking below decks, being like, hee hee hee, nobody knows me.
Yes, I say something. I'm noticing here, and I'm saying, oh look, it's that gnome from before again. I thought he was long gone. What is he doing on this ship?
We have a stowaway?
Seems like you have a stowaway.
I'll have to see to that.
If you haven't left yet?
Well, that depends.
Yeah.
So,
anyway. So, knowing that I've been caught red-handed from the loud yelling from Tyrell,
Very subtle.
I turn around and I kind of give like a small pout, like, darn, I got caught. And I say, so you caught me, so what you gonna do with me now?
well, I think that would depend. Were you planning to act like a stowaway and suck up valuable resources like you breathers tend to do, or were you planning to be helpful?
Well, neither actually. You see, I have a town. Yes, a whole town after me. I kind of destroyed it. So I've been running, and I actually don't know where I am. And I decided to kind of sneak on board, and hopefully, being on the ship and all, I can get somewhere faster, away from this town that's chasing me.
I understand completely. Destroying towns, these things happen. But if you're going to hide out here from the town, and this is a great place to hide out from towns, let me tell you. The pitchforks, rarely reach the deck when thrown. But this is a tight.
You allow me passage on your ship.
working passage, yes. Do you have any, perhaps, useful skills?
I went to the School of Time. I've been working on my time manipulation. That was, in fact, what destroyed the town in the first place. I'm not sure if you'd actually want me to practice that on board. But other than that, I am mainly a crafter. I craft, what you could say, amazing, spectacular inventions that will 100% of the time work.
Without fail, ever. They're definitely not going to do that.
No, not at all.
Not more than a shooting star.
Well, at least then, with all this nature around, you have things to do as a craftsman on the ship. Repairing holes that, are mysteriously appearing in the deck and things like that.
I don't know if Melvira notices the very familiar glossing over of danger that she's prone to as well. But this all sounds very useful. So her response is, I see. There may be space for you aboard that skill set. We'll have to talk about this time magic. That sounds vaguely interesting. I don't know.
Go ahead.
And we our crafters do keep on wandering off. So there may be some potential there as well. We'll have to see how it goes. But provisionally, I think we can find a place for you.
I take out my watch and I start spinning it around. It's what I do when I'm thinking. And I say to you, so, it actually sounds like you need a crafter because you just keep on disappearing.
Again, provisionally, yes.
So, I will help you out. Not only if you let me take passage on the ship, but I want that girl right there to be a understudy of mine.
Let me see.
I can totally imagine Melvin and be like, yeah, sure, why not? And then Lara just being like, huh, what's going on?
She looks like she's one of the trade as well. I have overheard your conversations. You're looking for silk now.
I will absolutely put her under your care to the very limit of her degree of willing cooperation, which I'm sure will be total.
Alrighty then, you have yourself a crafter.
Excellent.
Are you gonna say anything, Laura? You're just gonna stand there like looking.
Well, I'm in the room just making it my own. That's I'm not in the conversation. That's fine.
Okay.
She's not close enough to hear you guys.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought you were on deck too. I didn't hear that part.
He's choosing the best bunk.
I'm saying I'm not sure I like your agreement, but we'll just Yeah, don't you have any? Do you think it's good to? I mean, she's a child after all, and you want to study her, and
She'll be learning what she wants to the
Yeah,
best of
but
her ability.
why don't we ask her then? That's what I find so strange about it.
Well,
How can
Because
you make
children should
choices
not have a
over people's
choice.
heads? What did you say?
Children should not have a choice.
and I found when you
I don't agree on that.
I found when you ask people, they sometimes say no. Whereas if you proceed with confidence, then
Understand me completely.
then usually everything just falls into place eventually.
Strange views you both do have.
Oh dear. I never expected that, Otis and Melbourne. And it seems to work particularly well.
Two peas in a very strange pod.
Yeah.
Okay, Toral doesn't add anything to the conversation at this point.
I mean, you can just go to Laura and let her know what others are planning with her, right? If you don't agree with it.
No, he just keeps calm at the moment and stays quiet.
I have a question for you, Malvira.
Yes.
Wait, I don't know your name yet. I have a question. What's your name?
Oh yes, it's Malviran, and
Malvira.
yes, and if you've heard any of the stories, please ignore them. They're all lies and jealousy. There's it's poppycock entirely, and falderall.
I've never heard of you.
Ouch. Somebody who hasn't heard of you, Melbourne.
Well, it's okay if you're new here. You've only gotten the wrong impression anyway.
Where in the world am I?
That's what I would like to know as well. What is this place? What is this world here?
What is the name of it?
Good question. What is the name of it? I don't know. I never actually made up a world.
Oh, no.
For the world.
Okay.
I probably should have. I thought about it a few times and I was like, I can't come up with something. It's probably not important.
Say this known world. Just describe the world. This known world is.
Well, it's the name would sort of depend on what region you're in. Everybody has a different name for it. It's rather confusing, and there's as you might imagine, quite a bit of disagreement and quite a few different factions, and the Fae, and there's quite a few of them here, never agree on anything. It's sort of a policy. So, call it what you wish, and, just as a stop clock is right once a day, you'll be right occasionally.
Awesome. And then as I say that, my little pixie flies out of my pocket, starts hovering around me.
Yes,
It's a light pixie.
Oh, what
I see, you're infested.
This looks cute.
Cute, infested, same thing.
I actually don't know why it's following me.
Why don't you roll on the School of Chaos?
Okay.
You don't have anything in that, so just
Okay.
a d4. Oh, I did a d4, not a 40th.
What? D4?
Oh,
Not
yeah,
40.
I'm doing secret rolls that you guys can't see. Okay, yeah. Your cloak suddenly starts to itch, and a lot of tiny bugs fly out of it, and the little pixie grins a little, sticks its tongue out towards you.
Okay. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I didn't know that there were bugs in my cloak. Strange.
The pixie giggles even louder.
Spiders or so.
I'm sorry, she has a tendency to not like people.
Oh, it was your pixie. Okay.
Yes, it was my pixie. I apologize for her behavior.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that was worked out before I made an unfortunate comment about orcs and being deloused. Oh.
So that means she doesn't like me?
She
Why
doesn't
not?
she doesn't like orcs in general.
Oh yeah, I know that. Orcs aren't liked by a lot of people, it seems.
You see the half-orc back on the deck nod in agreement.
I didn't knew that even pixies are this way. So I guess I learned another thing. By the way, what is the name of the pixie? What is your name?
My name. I failed to tell you. That's my fault. My name is Otis. And I actually don't know I can't say mine, but this pixie has just been following me around. I basically only know that she does really annoying things. And but she won't leave, and she has taken a liking to me. I guess she's just now and then when she rushes, she like goes into my little chest pocket, cuddles next to my watch. But other than that, I have no clue.
All right. My name is Toral. Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
You see the two half-orchids run up, and they say, "Pixie!" And they start running around and throwing magic at the pixie and getting magic thrown at them. And their mother steps up to you and introduces herself as Amlaki, and she gestures to the kids and says, "These are Kiyomi and Mikan."
Okay. Nice to meet you. And your two little rascals. I apologize for my pixie if she decides that the kids are too annoying and does something unfortunate.
I in front apologize for my kids if they decide they want to tease the pixie and do something unfortunate.
Glad we came to an understanding. My name is Otis. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Otis. She runs after the kids to stop them from doing something to the pixie or the other way around.
Toral turns to them and says, "Hello, my name is Toral. I'm surprised I see some more people with orcish blood in them. That's interesting."
Yes, it's very nice to meet you, Toral.
Don't you two get any ideas?
She already has two kids.
I talked to her, and like the moment I sent her like Tural's description, she was like, "Ooh."
I'm saying to Malvern, we were just meeting each other. I don't know what you got in your head about it.
Oh well, you living are always well. Okay, I don't want to be insulting. So whatever you clearly weren't thinking, don't think it.
I don't even know what you're talking about here. Strange bone lady.
Don't worry about it. Would you like some tea? Would anyone like some tea?
I would, in fact, enjoy a nice cup of tea myself.
Excellent. Something that Herg and Durg are actually good for. Herg! Durg! Get on it!
Mavirin, may I ask, I'm very interested in what you are. I've never seen a species such as you. I'm guessing that you're just very old in age, or have you always been a skeletal being?
You're on the asking a lady's age bandwagon too. Disappointing. No, I have not always.
Oh wait, you're female. I'm so sorry, I could not tell.
You're losing points again, but don't worry. You will one day recover from the pox that you're going to contract. It's just a matter of time and a lot of suffering. But don't worry. I won't have the serpents poison your tea. It'll be an entirely different vector. And at that point, you see this this creature lurch out of the bay below. That's a bunch of spider parts and human parts sewn together, ambling along, carrying in one of its hands cups of tea in a teapot.
Thank you.
Your tea. Enjoy. It's oolong.
The human parts are as attractive as Malvern, by the way. They're all dried out and bony.
Yes, dear.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to pass on the tea. My stomach is just not feeling too well anymore.
Very well. I'm sure that you'll once you recover, you'll find it quite refreshing.
I think I might stick to making my own tea while I'm. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, I would
Did he get freaked out?
But by all means, by all means,
out,
by all means, enjoy. This is not the first time this has come up, and I really don't understand it. I mean, if you make your own tea, doesn't that defeat the purpose of having a servant bring you tea?
I feel
but
as long as you're enjoying the tea with your friends, then there should be no problem, right?
But I see you're an outlander, and thus it may take some time for you to come to understand civilization. And I don't blame you at all. These things happen.
Put this in the politest way possible. Nobody's gonna drink tea made by put together body parts.
Oh, that.
You see,
Moment,
like,
I
two
get out of my-
Well, I do. I don't mind. It's no problem to me.
Yeah,
So
I
there are
also.
at least some
No
people
humane. No humane being.
You see, like, everybody drinking a tea, and Oasis is like, nobody would drink that tea. Everybody's just like, nice tea.
Don't worry,
Get out of the room and say, "Did I smell tea?"
don't worry, you'll catch up to the orc sooner or later. And Melvir rolls her eye sockets.
I like how we started off getting out to like the best foot ever, and now we're just like, no. So where is this? I saw a little girl. I assume that she was the one that had that boulder almost slammed on top of my head.
I'm already out of the cabin.
Yeah,
No,
she's
I'm
there.
asking
drinking
Malvern.
tea.
I'm asking Malvern.
Malvern
Oh, you're out.
or Lara standing next to you drinking tea or something.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, giving high
Where did
fives
she
to the
come up?
spiders.
I never even remember you saying she came up.
She snuck up with the spiders. You were distracted.
Well, my pixie takes an extreme liking to Laura, and actually goes over and sits on her shoulder.
Hello, little buddy.
It's a
I'm
girl.
Laura.
The pixie's a girl.
Hello, girl buddy.
I see that my pixie has taken a liking to you. Laura, for passage on the ship, and me being a crafter of the ship now for Malvern, I had requested you to be an understudy of mine, to learn the way of the crafter.
She's just playing something with on her shoulder and says, "Nope, I'm not going back to school."
No, it's not gonna be school. You see.
Sounds like
It's gonna be a lot of fun, and all you have to do is sit there and watch.
That sounds boring.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Well, if it's fun,
I promise. Will
You should
enjoy
promise her that she gets to blow stuff up.
I promise. I go over and stand next to her, and I tell her to bend down a little bit so I can. And I whisper in her ear, "You get to blow stuff up. I promise. Don't tell anybody though. It's our little secret. My pixie has already taken a liking to you.
as I said, if it's fun, I'm fine with it.
Good. Then it's settled.
But don't call me a student or an understudy. I'm going to be your partner.
What is your name?
I'm Laura.
Nice to meet you, Laura. My name is Otis.
Otis.
Not
from here, are you?
No.
Then why do you have a pixie from here?
I don't know. She started following me around like the second day I got here.
I don't know. What did you?
Like they do.
I asked the pixie.
The pixie replies in pixie something. I don't know if you know pixie.
I don't know. I definitely don't know Pixie.
You did it, Pixie.
And I'll say, okay, makes sense.
I've learned a single word, and it's no.
You could ask Kiyomi and Mikan. They know Pixie. They could probably teach you.
I'm not going back to school.
I was talking to Otis. Maybe Otis wants to learn Pixie from Kiyomi and Mikan. You know, if he wants to.
Beneficial.
If he wants to learn something from people who are less than a tenth of his age.
How long do orcs live for?
I think slightly shorter. Like
than gnomes?
No, than humans. Like in Dungeons and Dragons and such, I think that this is our own world of creation. So it would be up to the orcs to decide whether orcs live longer or shorter or equal to humans.
No, slightly shorter is pretty okay, I guess.
Oh, I moved the item of silk.
But they burn brighter.
Sure.
So I believe you guys were trying to convince the ship to do something for you.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Or did you succeed at doing that yet? I'm not sure. I didn't remember how far you got.
Yes, I succeeded right off the bat.
The rope. You promised you'd deal with rope.
Oh yes. That rope does need discipline.
Disintegration. Discipline.
Well, it's basically the same.
You see, when the rope hears you talking about discipline, it immediately hides behind the barrel. The barrel is popular like that.
But I see it going to hide behind the barrel.
Of course.
Okay. So I'll head over and just kind of gesture the rope closer and whisper to it.
It kind of like stays in the same spot and shivers a little.
Okay, so I'll bend over and whisper to it. Don't worry. This is.
I'm telling my Varen, you shouldn't be too harsh with the rope. You think it's really necessary to discipline it for letting Otis get up to the ship? I mean, you got a new crafter this way, so it's all good, no?
It worked out in the end, but an example must be made, unfortunately. It's sad, but don't worry.
You hear the steering wheel shout, "Yeah, discipline it!" in the background.
So I then whisper to the rope, okay, I'm just gonna need you to act as if you're terribly stricken. That way, we can all get along, and I can, again pursue turning over a new leaf as I've long planned to do, and everybody will be happy except for those that are disturbed by your display, which you'll do a good job at, right?
The rope whispers back, "How does one act terribly stricken?"
I don't know. Tie yourself in knots or something.
I can do that. You'll have to untie me when you want to use me, though.
I'm sure that something can be arranged.
somebody else can do it. Is what you probably need. Okay,
but
so
I'll need you to go. I'll need you to do a good job. What?
I'll try my best. I'll make it really, really non.
Okay. So I'll make a grand gesture pointing at the rope.
You see the rope think for a moment, and then it pulls a semi-scared face and starts laying knots in itself.
What is a rope?
How does a scared rope?
It has a little face. It is that.
Imagine the cartoons that the 6-year-olds watch.
Yeah,
The faces on every inanimate object. Perfect.
Basically.
Is the ship flying it?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
It does. Okay. And it flies towards closer towards the silk, and after some direction, she places down the ship where you want it.
Okay, so then I use my sword to get the silk finally.
Okay. Let's see how crafty you are. So roll on your craft skill to see how how neatly you carve out a piece of silk, or whether you sort of half ruin it.
Okay.
Maybe the know-it-all autist should scream from the ship, no, not like this, do it like that.
You managed to carve out a square as well as I can draw one.
You're basically slashing out the thing and you're just trying to clump it up together just to get the material.
Yeah, I'm not very experienced with collecting silk, and
but I'm sure Lara will appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
Otis,
At least I tried.
Or no, Otis. Terrell.
Yeah?
Don't do it like that. Let me help you.
Okay.
Did I mention I'm used to having everything?
I go and climb down the ladder myself, and I take out this little dagger that I carry on with me, and I take my time and I actually slowly carve out this perfect square.
Okay, go ahead and make your roll. Let's see how perfect it becomes.
It's not gonna be good.
I poke Malviran and say, see, I asked him first. He's doing it now.
Good job. Or is it? Good job, apprentice. And I'll keep an eye out for spiders.
Wow.
I am saying to Otis, oh, really? But this doesn't look much different from the way I took the silk.
Here, let me drink it.
You see some spiders looking up at you as you're carving out part of their home. Yeah. They're gonna be there soon, but you can have another try, both of you, if you want.
Malviran will say, "Oh, I'm sure Lara will be quite pleased with the job you've done. Perhaps it's time to go."
No, I'm still not very good at this.
You managed to get a total of three pieces of cloth that you could maybe use to make a little bracelet out of, even though they're pretty big. And one piece of cloth that you could maybe, use for socks or underwear, something that you don't have to look at.
Alright, so at this point, though, the spiders are really close, right?
They're closing in, yeah, and I'd get the hell out of there.
I'm gonna use a fate point, use one of my stunts. I changed one of my stunts to time freezer to use I can use a fate point to stop time of everyone in the zone besides myself.
We'll have to see how balanced that is. Let's say sure for now.
Okay.
I don't think the game will break if you cut out a better piece of cloth.
Right. That's why I decided to be cool then. Okay.
Yeah. Stop time. Go ahead.
Just so I can get one more action and one more try.
Okay, go ahead. Blow us away with your skills. There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
That looks like a actual, piece of cloth. So time slowly starts moving again, and you guys go back to climb back onto the ship as the ship flies away, bringing you into safety. And I suggest we start doing our end of session stuff now, since it starts getting closer to the end of the game. And if you want something more dangerous like getting into Spider City, I feel that would take a little longer. So, how did you guys enjoy your first session?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Me too. It was really cool.
It's a lot different than I'm in a D&D session right now on Saturdays, and
yeah, it is.
It's a lot of fun. There is role playing involved, but there's just not nearly as much as this. Like they were more into like the combat, rolling, fights kind of thing.
Fighting the monsters because then you get XP.
Right. So, yeah, I enjoy this a good amount more than that. So this is really awesome.
I'm glad you liked it. Do you guys have any suggestions of something you'd like to see more? That goes for everybody, by the way.
I'm fine for now. Having a blast playing Nora.
I'm glad you like it.
I think next time I'm going to try to get Malverin to let me implement a workshop internship.
Sorry about that. This was really well created on your part, Hess. So I think you're more than capable of creating another beautiful part to the story next time. I don't have. That's my polite way of saying I don't have any ideas.
So another thing we do at the end of session is buns. So this is something I've just blatantly stolen from the Dungeon World system. Basically, at the beginning of first session, or I guess in this case at the end of first session, you create a bond with the people in your group. Like with everybody, you can create an individual bond. A bond is just one way, so you can have a bond with somebody, they can have a different bond with you. For instance, I'm going to get Malverin to let me build a workshop would be an example of a bond. Or I am going to teach Lara something about time magic. Would be another example of a bond. The other has to agree with the bond. The reason for this is if your bond is I'm going to make fun of the other person, then they may not want that character to be made fun of. And they can have bonds, a different bond towards you. Like Lara's, maybe I'm going to have Otis do stuff for me, or whatever. So, yeah. Why don't you guys come up with some bonds that you want to have towards each other? You don't have to necessarily have a bond for everybody. It's more fun because it, creates more role playing between each other. But if you can't think of something, it's totally fine to come up with it next session, for instance, or in between.
I'm gonna have a bond with Malvern. I'm gonna have him make me a workshop, or not make me, but let me make my own.
And yeah, I'm fine with that bond.
Part of your shift. Okay.
I'm going to try to pull a prank on Otis while going to teach me stuff. If that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That'd be fun.
I think I would like to put a bond to Lara, which leads me to doing nearly everything that she wants, and I can't say no to her wishes.
What kind of a bond would that be?
He's basically your slave.
Yeah, not so extreme, but kind of maybe.
Okay. The way bonds work is, like at some point you try to resolve the bond, which happens when either the stuff in the bond happens, like you spend a bunch of time being her like running around doing stuff for Lara, or you put prank on Otis, or if your character changes your mind, like if that doesn't describe your relationship the right way, like if Lara tries to pull a prank but it fails and she decides that Otis is not worth pranking, then that bond would also count as resolved. And when it is, you get a thing called synergy points, where the next time if you're trying to set up an advantage for that person, you can give them. I decided that the +3 is probably more balanced than a +4. Instead of a +2 that they would normally get from the advantage that you create, you can give them a +3. So what it basically says is, okay, you guys work together a little better because you have a history. And you can have a maximum of 3 of those synergy points per person stocked up. After that, any extra that you gain without spending any synergy points are lost.
For that new stunt I have, maybe to make it more evened out, I could make it 1 time per session. I can only use it once per session.
Yeah, I think once per session sounds like a good thing for a bond this big, or for a stunt this big. And then we'll just have to see how balanced it is and think about how long, like, should it be.
Well, it's 1 action. It's 1 action performed.
1 extra action, okay. I think that could be balanced, sure.
Okay.
Let's see, maybe even 1 session is too weak, and maybe we could even change it. Like we'll see how it turns to work out.
Okay. Cool.
I think I'd like to establish a bond with Otis that is essentially have him do something very dangerous with time, but not on the ship.
Me and my conceited ideas are to accept that.
So I feel like if I do tasks that Lara wants me to do, then I get a +1 on the rolls for this task.
No. So how it would work is, once you succeed at doing that, and once your bond is resolved, then you cross it off your character document, and you write a new one with her.
Okay.
And when you write on your character sheet, I have 1 synergy point with Lara. Okay. And then when you do something to help Lara, which can be something like setting up an advantage for her to do some of her magic or whatever, then normally if you set up an advantage for someone, you get a +2 if you succeed. But in this case, you'd spend your synergy point and you would make it a +3.
Okay.
So it's just a little extra bonus to motivate you guys to actively resolve your bonds.
And with Lara, how about trying to get her to tell Melvaren something useful about court politics. May fail miserably, but the attempt may be interesting.
I would like to make a bond with Thrall. Maybe have my I forgot what I was going to say. Lost my thought process.
You're going to have a bond with Thrall.
Yeah. But can't remember what it was.
You can do those via Skype as well in the Skype chat.
Okay. If I remember it, I'll let you know, Thrall. Sorry.
Okay.
I want to make one with Rao that says, I'm going to make a doll that looks like him. Is that okay?
Something to do with my
Okay.
I can remember.
And let me see, with Terrell, how about, poison any possible, romantic relationship with, Mlaki?
Okay.
Alright.
Let's do this.
Wow.
I know, that's
Good luck with
mean.
that one.
What is the extent of my pixie's powers? Besides, making bugs appear in Trell's clothing.
Yeah, so, just for, like, story purposes, if it doesn't actually have an effect on the game.
Not in it. Yeah, right.
She can do a lot of things. She's pretty strong, pretty powerful. To game extent, she counts as an extra, so she has 1 fair skill and 2 average ones. And she can have more stuff than that, but it comes out of your character budget, so then you'd have to give up skill points or stunts or whatever.
Not non-story related. I want to make a bond with Terrell where my pixie kind of like makes him feel like extremely hot, uncomfortable, sweaty, and then all of a sudden, like he has like this bodily intake, and he just starts bursting out laughing for like 10 minutes straight and can't control himself.
Okay. Okay, let's do it.
I just want
You know what your pixie could do?
a lot.
You know what the pixie could do? Make him act like a total fool in front of Malthorn. Amlaki.
Oh, Amlaki. Oh, so it'd be like a double bond almost. It'd work to create the distance between them. That'd be awesome. So yeah, you just completely like you end up acting like a stuttering fool in front of Amlaki, and
Yeah. Okay.
you just start laughing uncontrollably in mid sentence.
The pixie doesn't seem to like Tural at all, right?
Right. Basically that. Yeah.
Okay.
Which totally fits in the story, because the Pixies were the ones who kidnapped Amlaki's kids. And Amlaki's a half-orc, so, they like to at least tease the orc. And now I'm going to remove some drawing skills, because I think you guys know what a mountain of silk looks
We
like.
got the picture.
I added some color.
So yeah, the last thing I do is every session I let you guys roll a d100 and to see how you progress with skills. So skill progression works this way. Stunts you gain through items. Every time you find an item, it counts as an extra refresh that you can turn into a stunt. But you won't find those very often, not the major items at least. The skills are a lot easier to learn, so every session roll a d100, and that number that you get out of that is the percentage how far you got into learning a specific skill. And that specific skill has to be something that you feel you practiced this session. So basically anything that you rolled for or feel that you practiced in some kind of way.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and do notice. If that's okay.
You can
Yeah.
You can be practicing multiple skills. Of course, you get only 1d100 per session, but you can have multiple skills that are partially practiced.
Ha!
What happened to?
Ooh.
Ooh, nice.
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna do... Oh, good.
so when you get over 100, it bumps up one.
Yeah.
And any remainder is removed, I assume.
Is lost, yeah. I'd imagine it would be. Or should it not be lost? We could keep it.
Or could it add on?
I think it's fine if it's
For the next time?
kept. I mean,
Okay, yeah, sure, keep it on. Write the remaining percentage down for the next time you're gonna practice notice.
Awesome. Okay.
Mine's gonna be for crafts.
Hold on. There's something that you can't do. There's something you need to keep in mind. You can't like crafts is fine in this because you can bump it up to +2, but you need to have at least as much skills on a lower level as you have on a level higher. So if you increase one of your fair skills to good, you couldn't do that just like that, since you would then have 2 good skills and 1 fair, and that breaks that rule. So you'd need to first bump another skill up to fair before you bump to good. The other thing is that currently you guys can't go beyond, because that's like that's the limit I set as a game master for the current like skill level of the campaign. And then every once in a while I say, well, you guys have been traveling around for so long, I'll increase the level, and then you can go up to a great skill level or something like that. So +3 right now is the limit.
It is possible to increase the percentage and not do the actual +1 if it's not possible, but the percentage can be done, right?
But basically, he wants to train a skill which he has on fair, but if it doesn't bump up a full point, he's asking if he can train it.
Yeah,
he
sure.
Can start
Exactly,
training.
that's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Sure, obviously.
I was going to ask the same thing.
And actually, I'm fine with you guys putting up a skill to good as long as you spend the next skill points into skills that would then even out balance. Like, I'm fine with you guys doing that retroactively. I'm not going to be like, no, you can't do that right now, because you need to do that first. It's fine if you do it the other way around.
Did I just send a blank message?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
That looks like me. Looks like that to me.
Alright, so I was 73 on craftsman, right?
Doing resources.
Yeah, you used craft, so
Damn.
that's fine. Ooh, nice.
We all had some awesome rules.
What are you going to practice, Tural?
Which is a huge change from previous
I feel
sessions.
Like I did a lot of athletics this time, and so this is a skill that I'm gonna practice.
Yeah, you don't have to your most used skill. It can also be a skill that you use less.
No, I will take this one.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh.
By the way, guys, Tural started out as a pretty low-level character. He started out with only 2 stunts. So I'd like to ask you guys to give him a little extra of the items that you find until he catches up. I'll throw some extra items your way. Especially if you're going into the Spider City, because of the big stash of items that's rumored to be there.
Doesn't he have the refresh to use on stunt?
Yeah, he has. So it's just like more, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Sorry,
I mean, he could. You can add stunts at any time. And I thought it was sort of an interesting character build to have few stunts, but fate points forever.
Maybe he just wasn't sure where he wants to go. character, I mean.
I think that wraps up the session for now.
Alrighty.
Awesome.
So, thank you everybody for playing. It was a pleasure. And
You all.
yeah, it
Nice
was
meeting you too.
great meeting you.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
It was